Hi,
Hello, our Rise sisters. It's Charlotte Pendleton
Mary Steuart Dyer.
and we decided for this Wellness Wednesday, or I actually just threw it out there to Nancy that we would do a video because I love videos so much. No, I do actually like videotaping. You'd rather write, right? Mary Stuart?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's all right. It's
Um,
fun.
yeah. So we have a business we want to talk about, which is called the Sober Adventure. But we're going to do this sort of like Wellness Wednesdays, where we go through each question. Okay. So the first question that is always asked, whoever's being interviewed, is who is Charlotte and Mary Steuart, and the parts of you that no one can see. Um, I mean, this is interesting because both of us have become way more verbal about our adventure or journey or whatever you want to call it, becoming sober more and more each day. And actually, like yesterday was a big day for you. I don't know if
hmm
even that is a good segue, but like for you.
Yeah, so I historically I've been on a sober path, sober journey for over 4 years, and I have not really shared too much about it. And I'm becoming more and more outspoken about it recently. I think that it's important for people to understand that you can choose to get sober without that sort of rock bottom experience. You don't have to necessarily go to AA. And really, the more that it's out there, the more normalized it is. People can choose sobriety or not based on any sort of stigma attached to it. So that's why I've been more vocal and in hopes to normalize it.
Yeah. And I think we both, and we'll get to this later, of like how we met, and our approach to sobriety is very similar, but neither one of us drank every day. We never drank in the morning. We didn't need a doctor to help us get sober. We didn't need to go to rehab. Neither one of us went to AA. I went to some meetings and just didn't feel like it was my place. But as far as my own, I've been sober for a little over 3 years, and um, I look back and I was sitting and having coffee this morning and thinking about like um, my like the way I drank, and I was really a bad binge drinker, and so socially I would go out and just tie one on every 2 or 3 days, and then in between I'd be doing all these like spiritual practices, eating really well, taking care of my body, and then I would just be trashing it and literally putting, what is it, like um it's like gasoline, it's ethanol, it's
Rocket
poison,
fuel, yes.
rocket fuel in my body. When I was like in between, I was like practicing and studying everything spiritual. But one of the things I do want to admit, the side of myself that people don't see, is that when I went out to a bar or a party or whatever it was, I would seek out someone or something to bring, like to feel more of a connection to other people, and especially to men, and where I um would be just get become connect thinking I'd be connecting to someone, when most of the guys that I would connect to were very emotionally unavailable, which I think was because I was emotionally unavailable. And so I've spent the last 3 years really reconnecting with myself, learning who I am, and I've gotten on a path away from the corporate world into much more of the mind, body, spirit. It's just, I think it's amazing um, how much I've changed, or gone back to a self that I remember when I was much, much younger,
Mm-hmm.
caring so much about like the mind, body, and spirit, I guess, if that makes sense. So,
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, once you take out that alcohol, that numbing factor, you're sort of left with everything else that's inside of you, and it's like a reckoning. You need to figure out what emotions and feelings that you've been suppressing for so long, and to sort of, each day can be different in
Yeah.
terms of what's coming up. So without the alcohol, it's much easier to sort of connect back into those feelings and those emotions that ultimately us as spiritual beings are looking for, to
Exactly.
connect to that.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting when I do find a romantic partner and what that's like. Um, sober. I'm very curious as to what that will look like. So wish me luck, guys, when that happens, because I'm a little scared about it, but I also feel like it's going to be okay. Like
Yeah.
everything has been since I've been
And
sober.
knowing
Everything's been
and
better.
knowing yourself so much more,
Yeah,
you're going to pick the right person when they come along.
I hope so. Because my picker was really off for at least 30 years it was off. All right, so let's go to the next question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you please describe your business? Since I've done so much talking, I'm going to to you and I'll jump in if I feel like I need to.
Sure. So we are embarking on our third 40-day sober adventure starting on January 2nd. And it is
2023.
2023, yes. So, yes. And so it's basically a mind body dry January plus, 10 days or so um, program to help people experience sobriety, but not only that, but to give them tools to get over any kind of triggers or cravings that they have, to experience how to relax their body on their own without the use of alcohol. So that's one aspect. We'll be having this community social aspect where we're sort of all in this together. We're rooting each other on. We're providing support and, talking about our bad days and our good days as a community. And that's really a really great healing process for everyone involved. And then we'll also be providing yoga and meditation weekly, as well as journal prompts. And the last thing and just a lot of concrete information that's really useful to know about what alcohol is, what it does to your body, and
The science.
all exactly, exactly, yeah.
So-
And the fact that we have, as a society, have been conditioned to believe that it's advertising, right? We've been conditioned since we were born to believe that alcohol is the elixir of life. And so it's sort of debunking a little bit of the myths, and providing some facts around it.
Yeah. And so, I would say that our 40 days sober adventure is really there's a couple different buckets of people that it's for. The one it's not for is the person that needs a physician to stop drinking or they need to go to rehab. But it is for almost everyone else. The person that just wants to cleanse, the person there's a new term that's come since 2020 called sober curious. So they want to see what it's like, what life is like without alcohol, and see if they feel different, if they're thinking different. And then it's also for the person that is maybe tried over and over to stop, and tried different things, started like not drinking, practicing not drinking, and then they fall off and they come back. And so for that person too, who really does want to nail it finally, who's ready,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think,
And just needs that little extra sort of cocoon and support that we can provide during the 40 days.
yeah, and I feel like my favorite part of the whole adventure is that checking in daily where like,
Mm-hmm.
so we have this thing and it's a private Facebook group, and people check in. So every day, day 1 through day 40, they check in to say how they're doing. So they may
Mm-hmm.
have had a really great previous day and they tell you about it and maybe some of the triggers they overcame and what they did to overcome them, or someone that was pushing their buttons and how they got through it and didn't drink. Or you have someone who said, I screwed up last night. I I had a I had a half a bottle of wine and I feel really shitty about what I did, and I'm in a like a shame spiral. And every single person, whether you had a good day or a bad day or a mediocre day, we all just jump in and cheer each other on. And no one is there's no losses. No one loses in this. It's every single time you fall off the horse, we root you to get back on. So
And
um,
you build, and you're each time you're building more and more awareness around drinking and what it means for you.
and Mary Stewart, why the 40 days?
40 days is the amount of time that it's been shown to break a habit.
Inform,
So going form
inform,
new habits.
yeah. So that's why 40 days. We're also going to have some like weekly meetings where people were, we're all going to talk about how we're doing, and not in person, but at least through Zoom,
On Zoom, right?
and some journaling prompts. It's a lot of different things, and you can do as much or as little as you want. So
Mm-hmm.
but the
Mm-hmm.
last group we had, we took them through 40 days. A handful have stayed alcohol free. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
half the group came back and basically said to us, like, we want to continue this. So we had half of our group last time stayed on for 80 days alcohol free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. So I hope some of you who feel like this resonates with you, um, will jump in with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So the next question is, what led the two of you to this work to create this group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a really nice story. So Mary Steuart and I did not know that the other person existed until Trisha in
2019, yeah, the
2019.
fall. Mm-hmm.
It was a retreat, a Kundalini yoga retreat led by Trish O'Gorman, and we were there at the same time. I had just stopped drinking 2 weeks before, and you had,
I had a year of sobriety and I was back to moderating a bit, but I had also was getting ready to go on to stop drinking again. Little did I know at that point. So yeah. So we really hit it off, and you were my first sober buddy.
yeah,
After all full year of me doing sobriety alone, I met you, and so I had someone to talk to about it.
yeah, and you were my first sober buddy too, and we kept in touch after that. Right before the pandemic in 2020, we went to Lauren McGowan, who's pretty well known in this community. We went to her book signing in New York City together,
Mm-hmm.
and then we just kept talking. And there was another retreat that fall where we got to know each other even better, and we just started
Mm-hmm.
talking about like the fact that we've been in this pandemic and we're so tired of seeing like all the do you remember just all the drinking people were doing? It was
A lot of
talk
drinking going on during the pandemic. Yes,
and a lot of
definitely.
joking about it, and it was definitely pushing our buttons, but we were both like, we could help these people, and we should
Mm-hmm.
do like
Mm-hmm.
a dry January, but let's make it like let's find a fun name to put with it. And I think I came up with a sober adventure thinking like I want to get on a plane and go on an adventure right now. And so that's kind of how we came up with a name. And then all of the
Right.
things that both of us do, the yoga, the meditation, the breath work, the experience we've had, the books we've read, the science we know, we just bundled it all together. And I don't know, I just felt like we were being guided the whole time because we just kind of did it and it was so successful. And people really, as I said, people had an amazing experience in the awareness they had around drinking, and the relationship they had drinking changed so drastically over the 4 days, 40 days. And I don't know if you want to add anything else to that, but
Hmm. Yeah, no, I think that we both sort of approached the adventure by just using everything that we learned through our own sobriety. I know, at least initially for me, it was almost like a full-time job where it's like, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do all of these certain things to get me through the year. And the reading, yoga, meditation, nature, going for a walk. I mean, that's a quick, easy thing to do to get out of a bad mood. So I think we both just had so much passion around it that it just sort of fell into place,
yeah,
and it was really great.
it
Yeah.
just came out of both of us. And even though it was a lot of work, it unfolded really easily, except for the
Yes.
technical part, which thank God for Mary Steuart, because I was the worst. So
We learned a lot. We learned a lot.
we learned a lot. So and we're gonna put the information. The next question is, where can you find more information on the Sober Adventure? Um, so
Yeah, so why don't we'll put that underneath the video.
yeah,
And it's on our social media accounts, and I have a website, or we have a website. And yeah, so the information's out there. We would love for to hear what you all think about it. If you have clients, perhaps, that might also be interested in something like that, please let us know. We'd love to talk to them and to you some more about the program.
and let's talk a little bit about registering and the pricing right now. Since
Sure.
do you want so it's right now until December 10th. It's going to be, we have a special early bird price, which is $65, which is amazing, especially because
64.
$64. Sorry. Oh my God. I say 65. It's 20% off. So the regular price is $80 and it's 20% off. That includes 6 different kinds of yoga classes. So we're going to do every week, we're going to do a different kind of yoga class. So I feel like it's an amazing price for what you're getting, and the
Hmm.
community that you're going to be a part of. And then after December 10th, it's $80. So
Hmm.
you can just click the link, and there's a few questions we need to know before you register, and it's pretty easy. It's going to start on Monday, the 2nd of January.
Hmm. Hmm.
I cover everything.
Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, that was
And
good.
then the last question is, please share a practice that keeps you centered or grounded. So do you want to go? Well, do you want to share what we're doing right now that we do a lot?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now Charlotte and I are both doing a meditation together, not physically, unfortunately, but we are practicing on our own. We're doing a 40-day meditation called Sudarshan Chakra Kriya, and it's a Kundalini meditation that uses breath work and mantra and mudra and eye gaze, and it's got all the things, and it's really about clearing subconscious blocks and bringing the teacher aspect out in us. And what else? There's so much to that
There's so much. It's
meditation.
such a powerful kriya, and it's intense too. It's not one of those easy ones where you're just sitting like la la. It's a lot of breath work. So
Yeah,
um,
it's intense.
it's been
Yeah.
written about a lot for people who've had some serious breakthroughs using it, and so
Hmm.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it's been great.
um, I I will just share my quick morning routine that I have to do, or I'm sort of a mess for the full day, for the whole day, and that's so I need a ton of sleep, and if I don't get enough sleep, um, I'm not good at all. I'm really anxious, and so I've discovered something, and I actually became a Wim Hof instructor this past year and went to training in Poland, and it was one of the most exciting things I've ever done. But I wake up physically in my bed, I turn on the app, and I do 4 to 6 rounds of this intense breath work, Wim Hof breath work. I stretch a little bit, and then I get directly into a very cold, full on, cold 3 minute shower with fun dance music that I play in the background. And when I finish the breath work and the cold, my brain is in a completely, there's no of that like overthinking, over worrying, fear, any of it. And I am just ready to start my day. I get coffee, and I'm still doing this, but now I have blankets and a hat on, but I sit outside and look at the sunlight, because it's supposed to be helpful in like adjusting your circadian rhythms to look at the light the first thing. But it also just helps me to be quiet and watch sort of nature around me. So that's what I do.
And grounding.
Oh, and yeah, I never have shoes on when I'm outside, no matter how cold it is. My feet are on the earth, reaping the benefits of like reducing inflammation and basically grounding you. So
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
that's my
awesome.
practice. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Anything else you'd like to share, or is that?
Yeah, no, I just have mine is sort of evolving and changing at the moment, but I definitely do have a morning practice.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. I know you do. You're up way earlier than me. I'm on like Pacific time. You're on the regular East Coast, or even before the East Coast time, I think. So, yeah. All right. Well, Nancy, and thank you so much for letting us do this, and
Yes.
to our Rise sisters, Satnam, and please let us know if you have any questions, and
Definitely.
out. And if you have groups of people that you think might be interested, feel free to share. And we hope to see you in person sometime soon. All right.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.